Good afternoon, all my beautiful yarny peeps. Today I'm doing a stitch tutorial for you. Yes, it is another shell pattern. This one is called Prim and Proper. And this is the stitch tutorial that I will be showing you today. This was done using three multiples of 6 plus 3. And on this one, I used 4 multiples of 6 plus 3 for a bigger swatch. This is called Prim and Proper. That is the stitch that I'm going to be showing you today. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you like it, and I hope that you will let me know at the end of the video in the comment section. After you leave some DNA, please, at the front door, on that phone, ring that buzzer, pretty please, it really helps. And tell me what you might use it for in a project. The tutorial I'm going to do for you today, I am going to be using Momenti by Premier. It is 437 yards. I just so happen to have a bit of this left over. The color is called Glacier, and it is a worsted 4 weight. It is 58% cotton and 42% acrylic. It is really enjoyable to work with, and because I actually had some of this hanging around, I decided that's what I was going to use to show you the tutorial. For the tutorial purpose today, I will be only chaining a total of 3 multiples of 6, which is a total of 18, plus an additional 3, which will give me a total of 21 stitches. So you have to start off by placing a slip knot on your hook. Now some people just grab that and pull it up and snag it, or you can go under it. Either way, you're good to go, and you have your chain on your hook. So now I'm going to do 3 multiples of 6, which is a total of 18. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that is a total of 18 chains. And now you need to add an additional 3. I like to keep my finger on the last one and do my 3. 1, 2, and 3. For the very first row, it's going to be very, very, very simple. You are going to yarn over your hook. You are going to place it into the 4th chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, and into that 4th one, you are going to place a double crochet. I like to go under 1 chain only, so this way it leaves a nice bottom part. You can call it the back bump, or yeah, it's pretty much what the back bump is. Okay, so what you are going to do now is you are going to continue to place a double crochet into each and every one of those chains. Once again, to do a double crochet, you yarn over, you go into your chain or your stitch, pull up a loop, you have 3 on your hook, you yarn over, you go through 2, and you go through 2. So you're going to do that in every stitch across, and including that first one. At the end of this, you will have a total of 19 double crochets. So I am going to leave you here and to continue to do your double crochets all along the chain. And I will meet you back up at the end. And don't forget, you must place a double crochet in that last chain, or I will meet you back when we get to that one to make sure you do not miss that last one on your chain. So go ahead and place 1 double crochet into the remaining chains in your setup row, and I will meet back with you in just a moment. Alright, so we're coming up to that very, very last one. Don't forget to crochet into that one, and you will place a double crochet in that very, very last chain. Now if you count back, including this first chain right over here, which is a chain of 3, you will have a total of 19 double crochets at the end of this row. Let's go on to row number 2. Row number 2, you will chain 5. And just a quick mention before I continue, chain 5 will count as your first double crochet and a chain 2. And a chain 3 will count as your first double crochet. Chain 1s do not count. Just saying. So to repeat, chain 5 counts as your first double crochet in a chain 2, and a chain 3 counts as your first double crochet. Chain 1 does not count for anything. You will have a total of 19 after your first row. You are chaining in multiples of 6 plus 3. So let's go on and see what else this is. Now the color I'm using is called, by the way, Glacier. It's very, very pretty. And the hook I'm using is a 5mm. And I can never show that right on the screen, so I just hope you see it, okay? So row 2, we are going to chain up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And you're going to turn your work around. Now remember, your chain 5 counts as your first double crochet, which is 1, 2, and 3. And then you have another 2 there. So that's your first double crochet and a chain of 2. Now what you are going to do is you're going to skip the first 3. And when they say skip the first 3, they are including this first one here that your chain is coming out of. Trust me, I've done this pattern up a couple of times, and I have discovered that that's what they're meaning. So you are to skip the first 3. 1, 2, and 3. And into the fourth one, you are going to place a single crochet. Then you are going to chain 2, 1 and 2. You're going to skip 2, 1 and 2, and then you are going to place a double crochet into the next. Again, you're going to chain 2, 1 and 2. You're going to skip 2, and you're going to single crochet. That is your repeat for row 2. Chain 2, skip 2, and 1 double crochet. Chain 2, skip 2, and single crochet. Chain 2, skip 2, and into the top of that chain 3 from the previous row, your first double crochet, you will place 1 double crochet into the top of that chain. Make sure that you grab both legs of that chain. And when I'm trying to do this on camera, it always does this to me because, you know, I'm trying to do this on camera. So let me get it in there. Hold on. Let me find ya. Come on. Get in there. Oh, my Lord. Nope. I want to get into you. Come on, work with me. It wants to give me a hard time, guys. To the top of the third chain. All right, you are going to place a double crochet. Let's get you in here. Come on, work with me. Oh, Lord. See what happens when you try to crochet on. I'll be back. Jiminy Cricket, guys. All right, I got her in there. You will place a double. Don't lose it. Oh, my gosh. Thank you. Add double crochet. We got through row 2. Yay! All right, row 3. You're going to chain 1 and turn your work around. Now rows 2, 3, 4, and 5, they say, are the repeating rows. So, but basically it's just repetitive of the same as what we're doing here. So, you're going to chain 1, turn your work around, and into that very, very first one, that one right there, you're going to place a single crochet. Now, I like to mark mine off because this way, when I'm trying to find it, it's just easier, and I know where I'm going. You don't have to use stitch markers, but I always prefer to use them because it just makes my life that much easier when I get to the end of, the rows when you're doing chain 5s. So, all right, we chained 1, turned our work around, and we single crocheted into the very, very first single crochet. You're going to skip the chain 2 space, and in that single crochet, you are going to place 5 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now you're going to skip the next chain 2, and into that double crochet you're going to place a single crochet. You're going to skip the next chain 2, and into the single crochet you are going to place 5 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You're going to skip the next chain 2 space, and on top of that double crochet from the previous row, you are placing a single crochet. Skipping over that chain 2 into that single crochet from the previous row, you are placing your 5 double crochets. So we'll just do this real fast. All right. Now remember, you chained up 5 over here. 1, 2, 3, and then you have 2 chains over here. What you are going to do, because you started with a single crochet, you need to end with a single crochet into the top of the chain 3, and that's where you will place a single crochet. Row 4, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which, remember guys, counts as a double crochet and a chain 2. You are going to skip the first 2 stitches, or the first 3 I should say. 1, which is where your chain is coming out of, 2 and 3, and that will place you directly in the middle of that 5. Okay, you did 5. So you're going to go directly over to that third one, into the top of that third double crochet from the previous row. You will place a single crochet. You're going to chain 2, I believe. You're going to skip the next 2 double crochets, and into the single crochet from the previous row you will place a double crochet. Chain 2, skip 2, and single crochet into the top of that third one in your cluster of 5. Chain 2, skip 2, and double crochet into the single. That is your repeat for this row. Chain 2, skip 2, single crochet, chain 2, skip 2, and into your last one you're going to do a double crochet, because we started with a chain of 3 and then plus 2, which is a double crochet and a chain 2. So you're ending now again with a chain 2 and a double crochet. Row 5, you're going to chain up 1, 2, and 3, which counts as your first double crochet. Into that first chain 2 space you are going to place 2 double crochets. That's 1 and 2. Into the previous single crochet you are going to place 1 double crochet. Skipping over to the next chain 2 space, 2 double crochets. Into your next one, 1 double crochet. This is your double crochet row. So into each chain 2 space you put 2 double crochets, and then into your single or double crochet stitch you will place 1 double crochet. So it's each chain is 2, each stitch is 1. Chain is 2, stitches 1, all the way to the end, and I will meet you back at the end of this. And when you are finished you should still have a total of 19 stitches in your row. Alright, I am at the end of row 5, where we have done a double crochet into each stitch and 2 double crochets into each chain 2 space. We are now at the end where I did a chain of 5. You need to place 1 double crochet into the top of the third chain, 1, 2, 3, from your hook to finish off that row. Make sure that you grab both legs to that stitch. Alright, then all you're going to basically continue to do is continue to repeat rows 2, 3, 4, and 5. We'll go through that one more time for the tutorial, just so that you know what we're doing. So you're going to chain up 5. This is a repeat of row 2. That's 1, 2, and that's 3. And I'm going to mark that third one for myself, so I'm not hunting for it. That's 4 and 5. And turn your work around. You're just going to skip the first 3. That includes that very first one, guys, okay? Don't confuse that, please. So you're going to skip these first 3, 1, 2, and 3. And you're going to single crochet into the 4th. All right, now you're going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and you're going to skip 2, 1 and 2, and you're going to place a double crochet. Chain 2, skip 2, single crochet. Chain 2, skip 2, double crochet. Chain 2, skip 2, and single crochet. Chain 2, skip 2, and into the top of that chain 3 right there, double crochet. Repeat of round 3. Chain 1, turn your work around into that very first stitch. You will place a single crochet. And if you notice, guys, what they are doing is they are including that very first stitch as part of the entire pattern. That's why you have 19 instead of 18, in case you were wondering. Just say it. All right. So now that you have done that, you are going to skip the first chain 2 space and into that single crochet, you're going to place 5 double crochets. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You're going to skip the chain 2, and in top of that double crochet, you're going to place a single crochet. Skip the next chain 2 space, into that single crochet, place your 5 double crochets. Skip your chain 2 space, in top of the double crochet, place your single crochet. This is your repeat, guys. Go back to skipping the chain 2, in top of the single crochet, you will place your 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now you're going to see why I mark off my stitches, guys, because it just, like I said, it makes life so much easier, especially when you're doing a cluster and it pulls your chains. So I marked off the top of the 3 before the extra 2 chains, and in that chain is where I am going to place my single crochet. We started with a single, we will end with a single in top of that chain 3. That concludes that row. I got an itchy nose, sorry. Row 4, the repeat, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, I'm marking it off. 4 and 5, turning my work around. You're going to skip over 1, 2, and 3, and you're going to find that the next stitch is the middle of your cluster. Remember, you did a cluster of 5 here. So if you count the first chain here, 1, 2, and 3, it brings you over to the very middle of that 5. Into that 1, you place a single crochet. Chain 2. Skip the next 2 double crochets, and into the next one, you're going to place a double. Chain 2. Skip 2, which brings you again right to that third one. You're going to single crochet. Chain 2. Skip 2 doubles. Into the single, place your double crochet. Chain 2. Skip 2. Single crochet into the top of that double crochet, which is the third. Chain 2. Skip 2. And double crochet into that last chain, which should be a single crochet from the previous row. I'll just remove that. And you do your double crochet in there. All right. Last row, guys, is a chain of 3. 1, 2, and 3. You're turning your work around, and this is your repeat of the double crochet round. So that's your first double crochet into the first chain 2 space right here. You're going to put 2 double crochets. Now remember that first chain 3 is your first double crochet. That counts as your first double crochet, and you've just now placed 2 double crochets into the chain 2 space. You will now have a total of 3. Then you're going to go into your stitches from the previous row, and you're going to place 1 double crochet into that. The chain 2 spaces get 2, 1, and 2. The chain stitches, the doubles or the singles, wherever you are, get 1. In this case, this is a double, so you're just going to place 1 in top of that one. That is called the stitch. These are the chains, that is the stitch. So when I'm referring to the stitch, that's what I am referring to. All right, in the chain 2 space, it's 2 double crochets into your stitch, 1 double crochet. Into your chains, it's 2, 1, and 2. Into your stitch is 1. Into your chain is 2. That's 1 and 2. Into your stitch is 1. Into your chain is 2, 1, and 2. And because that's my last chain 2 space, and as you can see, I marked off my chains from the previous row, I'm going to go directly right into there and place my double crochet. So once again, we are back at 19 double crochets. And this is what your stitch should look like. So let's just count, guys. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and that last one is 19. So we are back at 19 double crochets, and we go back to repeating row 2, then row 3, then row 4, and then row 5 again. And then this is what you will end up with at the end of it. I hope that's been clear. I really apologize. I got stuck on that last one over there. There is a reason why I like to mark my stitches at the beginning with a stitch marker, because sometimes it just makes it that much easier to get into. But this is very, very pretty, guys. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I hope it was clear. And I would love to hear back from you as to what you might use that for in a project. I think it's very pretty. I think this color Glacier is very pretty in the Momenti yarn. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Get out your favorite yarn, the accommodating hook to go with the yarn, a couple of stitch markers, a darning needle, and a pair of scissors. And as always, guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Stay blessed and have a good day. And bye for now.